Hi, this is ABBAS Hussain from Behind the Gloves, and I'm here with trainer Mcguigan. Shane, we're here at the press conference for David's fight against Arnold The Cobra Gjerjaj. Gjerjaj, whatever. Sorry, I've tried to pronounce it so many times. How's David training come? Because his last fight was very short, so obviously there's a lot for him to come back to, because like you said previously, his fitness wasn't there. But where's his fitness now? Where's his sort of abilities now?
His fitness was at a decent level for the last fight, but it's another 30% for this fight, and you know, I'm just going off what I've seen. You know, I wasn't in the previous training camps, but I've seen a massive improvement in this camp. His speed's come up, his timing's come up, and his body weight's probably a little bit lighter than it was for the last fight. So I'm happy. He was in the gym. He didn't take too much time out, and in between the last fight, he got back into the gym. And you know, he's been around the likes of George Groves and Carl Frampton and my prospects like Josh Taylor and Conway Cummings and Josh Pritchard. These guys, they're all bouncing off each other, and it's a good atmosphere in the gym, and that sort of makes him want to come back to the gym every day. He's pushing himself and trying to keep up with the young guys, so I'm happy.
Talking about George Groves, what happened in that sparring session? Because David said you got a black eye from him.
It's just sparring, isn't it? You know, he caught a stiff jab. George's got a better jab than most heavyweights, so you know, just nice little sharp jab, and just good thing he didn't open up his eye. So I've been in for a lot of stew.
You know, realistically, a world title's not possible this year, and that's sort of David's objective for him coming back after them sort of years out. So obviously we've got the hype around Shannon McCann and Briggs.
Yeah.
David sort of come back, had hype, he sold out the odds. That obviously shows that there's a lot of people interested. You know, is that the fight that you guys are looking forward to next time? Just make sure you don't look past the Cobra first of all.
No, of course. You know, the thing is, you got to take one fight at a time, and the likes of Gjergjaj, Arnold. The fact is that, you know, he's 29-0, 21 knockout. He's mixed it in sparring with the best guys in the world. He wants to get himself there, and he's extremely hungry. You know, it's easy to look past people. You know, and David kind of, I believe he's one of the best heavyweights in the world, probably the best heavyweight in the world on his day. But you know, in that kind of, for him sometimes it might be hard to get up for the guys like Arnold. But you know, you can't overlook them, and you've just got to take every fight at a time, because this comeback could be short if he doesn't perform on Saturday night. So you know, take one fight at a time. Clearly, you know, the Cannon is a great fight for David after this fight, if he's you know, if they both come through. And I think you know, it's a good fight to keep him active and sort of continue his comeback. When we decided to, you know, to our route and to sort of get back into the mix of the heavyweight titles and try and win one. You know, we made sure we weren't going to just take a one fight and become like some voluntary and get into a mandatory, you know, get into a voluntary position and just get into a governing body just to have a money fight and then retire. You know, he wants 3 years crack at this at least. You know, he's convinced there's no miles on the clock. He's been in no hard fights, and you know, that's a good thing for us. You know, the good thing is that his reflexes, his timing's still there. So why not maximise, you know, what you got? But you got to do it slowly and make sure you take one fight at a time and don't rush this whole comeback, because I wanted to be a world champ for a long time.
Of course. What do you make of Shannon Briggs' sort of his self-promotion, because he's got the Let's Go champ movement going around the world?
He's fantastic. You know, the fact it's a bit tedious at times having to listen to it whilst you're trying to concentrate on press conferences, but no, he's great. You know, he's two-time heavyweight world champion. He's a phenomenal fighter. I was always a massive fan of him. He believes he's still in great shape. The last thing that you lose is punching power. You know, you lose your reflexes and your timing a little bit. They start to slide, and then your chin starts to go. If you've been knocked out a few times, the last thing you lose is your punch power. And he's always been he's been a world-class puncher his whole life. So David has to be razor sharp when that fight materialises. And you know, he's still a dangerous opponent even at his age.
What do you make of the heavyweight division as a whole? You've got people like Joshua, Fury, you've got Wilder. Do you think it's booming at the moment? It's the right time for?
You know, the fact is that the heavyweight division is back booming again. You know, we had the Klitschko era, and that was, you know, they say it was a shame for heavyweight boxing, but it was also a good thing. You know, he unified the division, and he was there for. He was a great champion. I don't believe he's going to beat Fury in the rematch. I don't even know if that fight's going to materialise. I just have got a bad feeling about it. I don't think that. You know, I see somebody pulling out on that one. Joshua's burst onto the scene. Incredible specimen, incredible fighter. But he hasn't got the experience that the likes of David Haye has, and although he's a world champion now, they've got to pick his opponents quite wisely, because when you're at that level, it's hard to stay there. So obviously that's somebody that David's targeting, but I think he wants to get his hands on any belt, and once you're in that, once you're a world champion, you're in a much more powerful position to negotiate the unification fights.
Listen, apart from David Haye, so obviously like you said, Joshua and Fury are the two biggest names in Britain and in the world. And in the world. If them two were to collide, say this year, start next year, who would you have been in that sort of fight?
I think Joshua beats him. I think Joshua just trade with him, and I don't think he's not as explosive, and you can kind of see his shots coming. Although he's a long puncher and he's 6'9", he's quite awkward. But I think Joshua's very brave. Yeah, he won't stand there and pour the jab like Klitschko. Klitschko, you know, at this age, I think he's worried about getting hit clean and worried about taking risks. Joshua will just go out there and just chuck a big right hand over the top and just go to war with him, and that could be the end of Tyson Fury.
Hey fight fans, if you guys haven't already done so, make sure you download the Behind the Gloves app. It's free, and it features really cool stuff like a fight calendar that reminds you of all the upcoming fights, and it allows for you to, with one click, to remind yourself directly to your phone. And it also features 24/7 breaking news that's going on in boxing. So make sure you guys go ahead and do that and subscribe to this channel.